Africa has produced some of the most powerful and influential leaders in modern history. Some liberated their nation from colonial rule, others united divided countries, and a few transformed entire economies and political systems. But influence does not always mean popularity. Some of these leaders are celebrated as heroes of African independence, while others remain controversial figures whose decisions change the course of history forever. In this video, we explore the most influential African presidents of all time, leaders whose actions shaped not just their countries, but the future of the entire continent. 1. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana. When Ghana gained independence in 1957, it became the first sub-Saharan African nation to break free from colonial rule. At the center of this historic moment was Kwame Nkrumah. Nkrumah was more than just a president. He was a father of African independence movements. His vision went beyond Ghana. He believed Africa could only become powerful if it united as one political and economic force. This idea later inspired the creation of the Organization of African Unity, now known as the African Union. However, his ambitious projects and centralized leadership eventually led to economic challenges and political opposition. In 1966, Nkrumah was overthrown in a military coup, but his influence remains undeniable. Today, he is remembered as one of the greatest architects of modern African political identity. 2. Julius Nyerere, Tanzania. Few leaders in Africa were as respected for their integrity and moral leadership as Julius Nyerere of Tanzania. Known as Mwalimu, meaning teacher, Nyerere believed leadership should be built on education, unity, and equality. He introduced a political philosophy called Ujamaa, a form of African socialism focused on community living and collective development. While the policy had mixed economic results, it helped unify over 120 ethnic groups into one stable nation. Unlike many leaders who cling to power, Nyerere voluntarily stepped down in 1985, setting a powerful example of peaceful leadership transition. His legacy still defines Tanzania's national identity and political stability. 3. Nelson Mandela, South Africa. No African leader symbolizes freedom and reconciliation more than Nelson Mandela. For 27 years, Mandela was imprisoned for fighting South Africa's racist apartheid system. Many believed he would emerge seeking revenge. Instead, Mandela chose reconciliation over retaliation. When he became president in 1994, he led South Africa through one of the most delicate political transitions in modern history. His leadership prevented what many feared could become a violent racial civil war. Mandela's message was clear. A nation cannot move forward if it is trapped in the hatred of its past. Today, Mandela is not just an African icon. He is considered one of the most respected leaders in world history. 4. Muammar Gaddafi, Libya. Few African leaders were as powerful, controversial, and influential as Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. Gaddafi ruled Libya for over 4 decades, from 1969 to 2011. During his rule, Libya became one of the wealthiest nations in Africa, largely due to oil revenue. He invested heavily in infrastructure, education, and African unity initiatives. Gaddafi was also one of the biggest financial supporters of the African Union. He even proposed the creation of a United States of Africa. But his rule was also marked by authoritarian control, international conflicts, and political repression. In 2011, the Arab Spring uprising led to his violent overthrow. Despite the controversy surrounding him, Gaddafi's influence on African geopolitics and Pan-African ambitions cannot be ignored. 5. Paul Kagame, Rwanda. In 1994, Rwanda experienced one of the worst genocides in human history. In just 100 days, nearly 1 million people were killed. The man who helped stop the genocide and later became president was Paul Kagame. Under Kagame's leadership, Rwanda transformed from a devastated nation into one of the fastest-growing economies in Africa. Today, Kigali is often called one of the cleanest and safest cities on the continent. However, Kagame's leadership has also faced criticism from international observers regarding political freedoms and opposition suppression. Still, Rwanda's dramatic recovery has made Kagame one of the most influential modern African leaders. 6. Haile Selassie, Ethiopia. Before most African nations gained independence, Haile Selassie of Ethiopia was already a global political figure. Ethiopia was one of the only African nations to resist long-term European colonization. Selassie became a powerful symbol of African sovereignty and resistance. In 1936, after Italy invaded Ethiopia, he delivered a historic speech to the League of Nations, warning the world about the dangers of fascism. His words were largely ignored at the time, but history later proved him right. Selassie also played a major role in establishing the Organization of African Unity, which helped support independence movements across the continent. His legacy continues to influence African diplomacy and Pan-African thought. In conclusion, Africa's political history is filled with leaders who shaped the destiny of millions. Some inspired freedom movements. Some built nations from chaos. Others pushed bold visions of African unity and global influence. Their leadership styles were different. Their legacies remain debated. But one thing is certain. These presidents helped define the political story of modern Africa. And their impact continues to shape the continent's future. Which African president do you think had the greatest influence on the continent? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy African political history and powerful stories like this, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the leaders who shaped Africa.